to understand that you mentioned 2007, and we're in 2027, exactly 20 years. You know, for me, when I think of 2007, my image goes to Naivasha, the charred house with the charred bodies, okay? And that started with incitement, vernacular, and this is where we ended up. So we as leaders have to be responsible, because if we're not responsible, we are going to take the country to a worse position, because we've got more people that are in that net that can do wrong in this country. So now, when we talk about the president and his accountability, all right? The president is responsible for ensuring that state protects Kenyans. That's his responsibility. But he's not the investigator. He's not the prosecutor. He's not the judge. All right? It's the police who investigate, the DPP charges, and the courts decide. All right? And I tell you, one of the things that we did different, I remember even when we, as opposition, I remember once I was arrested, all right? Because I put some advertisements on Uhuru Highway. And when I was arrested, it was by Ali. My entire brigade came, we sat down, I pulled down the adverts, and we continued. At the end of the day, I think there comes a time that we need to understand that the country is bigger than all of us. Right now, we cannot just be blame games, and we have to understand the constitution that we have. So for me, I feel, let the institutions that we have, because those are the same institutions, if the united opposition were to take power, it is the same institutions, the people that they will put in those offices will be the same Kenyans, right? So what we need to do is have a moral reflection. We cannot improve 2027 if we do not look and reflect on what happened in 2007. If we do not want to see people dying, then we have to remember that we, as ourselves as politicians, have got to stop and change the narrative. And this is why I want all of them have worked at one point with Baba, except for Rigathi Gachagua, but all of them understand Baba and understand the kind of man he was, and that's what they need to reflect on. We need to put the country ahead. So when we come here and we demonize an institution like the presidency, we're doing wrong. So I want to quote Article 157.10, okay? The DPP does not require anybody's consent to commence criminal proceedings and cannot be directed or controlled by the president, okay? Or any other authority. We are legislators, we put these things in place. Under Article 245, the Inspector General exercises independent command of the National Police Service. No person, including the president, may direct the Inspector General, okay? So to investigate particular offenses, to enforce laws, to arrest. Now, when the united opposition gives up on the institutions that have actually put them in office or taken them out of office, it is the same institutions that we have to respect. So collect your evidence, take it to the ICC, collect your evidence. If you feel we're a failed state and you can't go to the police, then go to the ICC for all means. But at the end of the day, right, everyone is culpable when it comes to Goonism. So we need to make sure that the institutions that are there to protect us work, all right? So for me, right, when I talk about 2007, the displaced people who are looking for places, over 10,000. I mean, come on. And we know that Kenya went to a bad and dark place. And we don't want, you know, let me tell you something, okay? I will not even answer you there because all of you were somehow investigated in that issue. He's now the current president, so he was not charged, okay? So at the moment, I'm just saying, have confidence in your country, have confidence in your people, have confidence in your institution, and let us as politicians do the right thing. That conversation that we're having right now, the hate, the venom, the incitement, is not going to help Kenya. 2027 will be worse off, right? Not because of Ruto, but because of all the politicians going out there and doing the wrong thing. So the institutions that have been given mandate to do the right thing by the Constitution, do your job.
Yes. Next week we mark 16 years.